What if I told you that mastering just one thing could unlock unlimited profits consistently and predictably in the market? And hey, most traders, they ignore this, and it's really the reason that they fail often. And stick with me, I'll show you how to get light years ahead of everyone else. Should be a fun video for you here today. I appreciate you all for being here. One thing I ask, one thing only, please smash that like button down below. That's all I ask. If you want to subscribe, you're certainly welcome to do that as well. We're at an all-time high for subscribers, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So let's jump to it. Have you ever wondered that after all the hours that you've spent studying the different strategies, the different indicators, and the charts, why you're still struggling to make consistent profits in the market? Well, what if I told you that it wasn't the knowledge or the charts or the indicators or the strategies, and it was something a little bit closer to home? It was you. The true barrier for success in the market isn't the perfect strategy, nor the perfect chart or setup. What is the biggest barrier for most traders is they fail due to not lack of knowledge, but they don't understand their own emotions. Think about it. I've done this. I think everybody has. You put on a trade and it's a loser. Rather than take that loss, what do? You say, hey, you know what? It's going to come back. I know it's going to come back, so I'll just wait it out. And then you end up losing more money. Or you close out the trade, take the loss, and then because you lost on that one, you feel that you've got to make it up on the next one. So what do? You get a little impulsive. Yeah, I've been there. And then you throw on another trade that's a little bit riskier rather than stick to your plan. Once you start to consistently recognize these psychological traps, then everything changes. You'll see that trading is less about predicting the next move in the market and more about predicting and managing your own reactions. By mastering your mindset, you can transform from a trader who's constantly fighting their own impulses into one who trades with clarity and confidence, consistently pulling profits from the market. So before you jump into your next trade, ask yourself, are you ready to tackle the biggest challenge? The one up here inside your own mind. That's where true trading success begins. All right, let's talk about the first and most powerful psychological trap when trading, the fear of losing more than winning. Losing hits much harder than winning feels good. Yeah, it's a fact. A big losing day, I feel terrible. And on a winning day, I kind of just brush it under the rug like, hey, that's expected. We win all the time, right? Well, losing hits harder, and it's much closer to home, especially when you're learning to trade stocks or options. The losses trigger deep-seated emotions and fear and self-doubt. Your brain actually releases cortisol, and you hit that fight or flight mode, and you don't really think clear. When you're in this state and not thinking clearly, you might find yourself staring at the screen, unable to walk away, getting sucked into emotional spirals and revenge trading. It's as if your brain sees the loss as a threat to your very survival, making it nearly impossible to make rational decisions. Here's the hard truth, though. If you can't get comfortable with losses, you'll never consistently be a profitable trader. The best traders aren't the ones who never lose. Everybody loses. The best traders are the ones who know how to take a loss, walk away, and reset before coming back to the market. That's how you avoid costly emotional spirals. So the next time that you take a hit in the market, remember your edge comes from being able to walk away, take the loss, and come back again later that day or the next day. You want to stick to your plan, and that's really what separates the consistently profitable traders from the traders that tend to struggle. All right, let's dive into the second major psychological trap that holds traders back: craving certainty in an uncertain market. As traders, we want to know what's going to happen next. We want to be right, but markets are uncertain. They move up and down, and not every trade is going to go our way. We're always craving that certainty. And when something doesn't go our way, we figure out in our own mind that, hey, that shouldn't have happened. What I thought was going to happen is going to happen now. But you know what? Typically doesn't end up happening. And what happens is we as humans tend to overtrade and oversize our positions when that does occur. So here's the truth. Trying to force certainty in the markets only leads to frustration and bigger losses. The real breakthrough comes when you accept uncertainty as part of the trading process. Instead of focusing on the outcome of every single trade, focus on your process, your risk management, your strategy, and the ability to stick to your plan. When you let go of that need for certainty, you really start to trade with clarity, sticking to your processes and your plan, and you become profitable much more consistently. All right, trap number 3, building bad habits through repetition. Now, anytime that we repeat an action, whether it be good or bad, we are wiring our brains to repeat that action again. It gets easier and easier every time. So the good news is it happens both ways, bad and good actions. So if we have a trade that we put on and it's a loser and we lose a lot of money, and then instantly we go back and increase our size to 2 lots or 3 lots or 5 lots, and we want to make it all back in the next trade, well, that's a bad habit. We don't want to do that. So instead of doing that, we want to create a good habit. And what we do is stick to our plan. If we're a 1-lot trader, then we're going to stick to that 1 lot moving forward. The good news is good habits, just like bad habits, are wired into the brain. So the more that we do good habits, the easier it gets, and we stick to our plan. And that's how we become profitable traders. So it gets easier as time goes on. Let's dive into the 4th trap, craving pleasure and avoiding pain. Well, this can be a dangerous thing when you're trading options or stocks. Now, your brain is fundamentally wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. And this can be dangerous or disastrous when trading in a stock account or an options account. Your decisions in the moment could feel good, but these can often destroy accounts. Think about it. When you take a loss, it's painful. It hurts emotionally and even physically. Your brain desperately wants to escape that pain. So what do? You chase the pleasure of getting back to break even or into profit. You might double down, increase your position size, or take trades outside your trading plan, all to escape the pain of that loss. Now, similarly, when you take a risky trade that pays off, your brain gets flooded with pleasure chemicals. If you ever oversized the position and it went your way, you felt that rush of excitement and reward. Your brain then associates oversizing and pleasure and says, let's do that again. Well, what it doesn't properly account for is the massive pain you're going to experience when that oversized position eventually goes against you. Now, here's how you can overcome this trap. What you need to do is rewire your brain. Yeah, sounds difficult, right? Well, not really. You want to sit down and remember when you went too big on a trade and it went against you and you lost. And remember how that felt. It didn't feel good, right? Well, kind of sit in that and associate that feeling with not following your plan. Now, on the other side, what you can do is you can rewire your brain by thinking about a trade where you stuck to your plan and it worked out and you won. You consistently made profits. Now, the more that you do that, the more you think about that, the more positive that action is, and it becomes rewired in your brain so that you repeat that more easily over and over and become a consistently profitable trader. So we got to override that brain. Now let's talk about trap number 5, letting dopamine and excitement drive your trading decisions. Now, many traders chase the thrill of the trade rather than focusing on consistent profits. So, hey, you've got to ask yourself, are you following a consistent strategy Or are you just focused on making money and chasing that rush from the big winning trade? Here's what's really happening. In our everyday lives, we're surrounded by instant gratification, social media, junk food, streaming shows. All these things spike your dopamine, raising your brain's baseline and making you crave even more excitement. When you bring that mindset into the markets, you start looking for the next big thrill. You want that instant hit of pleasure from a winning trade, and you end up oversizing, overtrading, or breaking your rules just to feel that rush. But here's the danger. This isn't trading anymore. It's gambling. You're not following your plan or managing risk. You're just feeding your need for excitement. The truth is, real trading should feel almost boring. If you're doing it right, there's no wild emotional roller coaster, just calm, steady execution of your strategy. So if you find yourself trading for the thrill, yeah, we all get caught up in it. Take a step back and remember consistent profits and follow your plan. Guys, mastering the mind, our own minds, gives us a real edge when we're trading options or stocks. Most people don't do that. So if we can conquer these traps moving forward, we can have consistent profits day in and day out. Not every day, but most days and over time, definitely. Now, let me know down below in the comments your biggest struggle and how you overcame it. All right, guys, be sure and download the free options workshop in the link below. It talks about the main benefits of trading options over buying stocks. If you're looking for a system for consistent profits, check that video out. Also, if you like this video, if you got something out of it, check out the video on my right and subscribe on my left. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.